Hey, Club Bros, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Glad to have you guys here. And as always, hope you guys are doing well. With Stalingrad released, I have about, I don't know, 12 plus hours under my belt. And so I figured it was a good time to do a Stalingrad, the good, the bad, and the ugly video. Couple things before we begin. Number one, Twitch drops are going on this week, so if you guys haven't already jumped over to my Twitch channel and dropped a follow, I highly recommend you guys do that. Hang out with a cool community, hang out with me, and get some cool drops for Enlisted as well. It's a good time. Other than that, guys, I do also want to mention that we're probably going to go through the good stuff here first, but I do overall like the update. I like Stalingrad. I think it's a good overall update, but we're going to run through the good stuff pretty quick just because it tends to be better to focus on the bad stuff because that's the stuff that the devs can fix, right? That's, you know, the good stuff is, you know, it's a pat on the back, great job. But in terms of stuff they can actually fix, they want to hear the bad stuff. That's kind of how development works, right? So good stuff. Let's start off here quick. The sounds in Enlisted. Mwah, fantastic. Okay, I want to see more of this. I want to see better sounds across the board. The guns that got reworked are fantastic. Gimme more. All right, I want to hear more guns getting reworked. Okay, it's going to be great. More sounds. The current ones that got reworked sound amazing. All right, flamethrower tanks, fantastic. They're terrible. They are unbalanced in a bad way. They're just terrible things. They're ineffective, but they are super fun. I love them. They're great to play around with, and I think they're perfect additions to the Access Pass. I got no problems with them. They're super fun, even though they're unbelievably bad. Hey, they're fun, and honestly, in my book, if something's fun but terrible, it's worth it. So there you go. Super fun. Glad to have them in the game. Great addition to the game. The grind in Enlisted and Stalingrad specifically is fantastic. It is arguably too fast, in my opinion. I think you're running through levels so fast you don't really have time to sit and spin your silver orders and use these new weapons. So I would like to see it maybe toned down to maybe ×3 instead of ×4. But I'm also going to say that if it's between base game grinding and ×4 grinding in Stalingrad, I'm going to go with the ×4. So I'd rather grind too fast than too slow for sure. But I also know people that finish Stalingrad in like 7 hours. So I really think it should be turned down just a little bit. Tweak that down. You know, if it's a pendulum, then we used to be on one far side and now we've swung all the way back. We want to be somewhere in the middle. So maybe like a ×3, ×2, somewhere around there I think would be a lot better. Free to play versus paid players. This is something I think a lot of people were worried about, and I think a lot of people are still worried about, and I think a lot of people might be calling for my head after I say this, but I really don't think it's that bad. Like, I don't think free-to-play players are at that much of a disadvantage, if any disadvantage, against paying players. Everyone says, like, oh, you grind up so fast in Stalingrad. Oh, it's so, like, unbalanced because they're going to have so much good stuff, and it's just going to be whales against, like, you know, bots. I don't think those people saying that have played Stalingrad, because I straight up only used bolt actions, like the starting bolt actions, until level like 22 or something. Like, the bolt actions in Stalingrad are insanely powerful. So I don't know what those people are talking about. Maybe they just can't aim. The biggest exception to this is the MKB, which is balls to the wall broken, and I hate that it exists because it is an inherently unfun weapon, and we were also told specifically it would not, that Stalingrad would not become an automatic automatic weapon spam campaign, and it 100% is for the Axis high level players, because there is no reason to use any gun that is not the MKB, because the MKB is so insanely powerful. Okay, moving on. Oh, weapon game balance is great. Like, again, other than the MKB, I think that the factions are fairly balanced. Like, yeah, KV-1 is absolutely insane, but the Panzer IV F2 can fight back, and the Soviets have, I think, generally worse infantry, but they're also defending most of the time. So I think overall it evens out. The biggest problem right now is something that we're going to get to in a little bit, but there's less Soviet players right now, I think, because the Soviet campaign is just less interesting. All right, now on to the bad. All right, number one, the maps. I'm not a fan of the maps. A lot of people like the maps. I think the maps are much too open. I think you have much too little cover, and you have a lot of these like sniper buildings that are like a 5-star building with like 20 windows, and you have no, like, there's like one dude sitting with a sniper, and like with enlisted, it's like really bad lighting that drives me crazy, where you like can't see into buildings a lot of the time. You just get like your head blown off by some random like dot across the map. And then like you switch to another guy who then gets shot, and then you switch to another guy who then gets shot. It's just really frustrating. I think it's a little too frustrating in that regard. So I'm not a fan of that. Aesthetically, the maps are really boring in my opinion, but I think other people would disagree with that. Like Gray Rubble is just Berlin, but like not as colorful. I don't know, like Berlin at least was like a standing city, kind of like, yeah, it's a lot of blown up buildings and rubble, but like, oh man, dude, Stalingrad is basically all just rubble. I don't know, stuff's not as iconic in Stalingrad to me. I don't know, maybe I'm crazy, and maybe, but that's just my thing. It's not a big deal gameplay wise. You know, people have different opinions aesthetically, but gameplay wise, too big, too many snipers. That bugs the hell out of me. Next up, delays that were leading up to the release. I was pretty silent on this stuff. I think that it's kind of a problem that we have these delays that we did. I think that it shows that the devs are not able to properly allocate time and properly predict the amount of time it takes them to complete tasks, and that is concerning to me. I think that when you continuously delay stuff for weeks and for like a week at a time, it shows like, or it erodes the trust that players have in the system. Like, I can't get excited for Stalingrad if I don't know if it's actually going to release, because it just keeps getting delayed over and over again, right? Like, it's hard to get excited and hyped up for something if it just keeps getting continuously delayed. So I think that that's also a problem. There you go. Delay, but like, I mean, delays are fine. Like, from like a, you know, if stuff's not done, delay it, but don't do this like delay a week at a time thing. Like, just delay it for a month and then release it. Give yourself more time than you think you need. Get it done. Bugs, there's a lot of bugs in the campaign. AI suck. AI like gets stuck on stuff, but that's like every campaign. Bombs sometimes don't drop from the bombing runs, which is really annoying. Yeah, tanks get stuck on stuff. There's all kinds of bugs. Bugs happen. It's not that big of a deal, but like, you know, there you go. Medics are really weird to me. I don't know why medics exist in this campaign. I don't know why medics exist at all, to be honest with you guys. You die in one shot in this campaign. It's a really weird design decision, in my opinion, to add or to like buff bolt actions to one-shot enemies more often, and then add a class that is based on healing people who weren't one-shot. Like, why? That doesn't make any sense to me, right? Like, I don't know. That's just, I don't know, it doesn't make any sense. So medics just oftentimes don't really do a whole lot. Like, it's kind of fun to run around and heal people, and that's fine, but I don't think that they're actually useful both in their capacity to heal, and like they're less effective healers than like normal than like a medic soldier with like a rifleman with a backpack with 4 med kits, because they can't even heal themselves that many times. It's just weird. I don't know why they exist. They're just dumb. Like I mentioned before, the campaign levels overall are really meh. I don't know why we didn't get Romanians or Hungarians. I would have liked to see those squads. I hope we get to see those in the future. Like, all the squads are just German, and that's kind of boring. The Soviet campaign tree is just so ungodly boring. Like, I think I counted, and the only new things are like tanks, and like some of those tanks are already in the game, like, or they're like tanks and planes. Like, who cares? Like, they're like, who cares about, like, it's all the same, man. It's all the same. What are you gonna do? It's the Soviets. It's not like they had that many different weapons, but they could have thrown more stuff in. I guess getting a Maxim is cool. Whatever. Finally, concussions. Dear God, just revert it. Just put it back. I don't care. Put it back. Put the concussion effect back to how it was before. I don't know what the hell you guys did. I don't know why you did it. It's not fun. I'm sick of getting just like permanently concussed. Like, I am an American football player, like, who has just gotten bonked on the head one too many times, and I have permanent concussions. Like my brain my soldiers' brains in this game are just scrambled eggs at this point. Like, I played a game in Normandy where, I'm not kidding you guys, my screen was dizzy and gray for it had to have been at least 85% of the match. It was absolutely ridiculous. Okay, just revert it for the love of God, please. Put it back how it was before. It was bad before. It's just so unbearable now. Okay, and this is including where they reduced it already. Okay, just please revert it to how it was before this patch. All right, the ugly, two big things here. Number one, the Xbox launch. I don't know what happened, but I do know that it can never happen again. The state of Xbox right now is wholly and entirely unacceptable. Like, the fact that Xbox players, I believe at the time of me recording this video on Saturday, April 2nd, are still incapable of playing Stalingrad and still are on the previous update that is also still bugged. So, like, I get it. You push code and everything breaks. I get it. I've been there. But, like, you cannot have a launch like this. To say it's botched is, like, the most massive understatement ever. Like, you can't have it like this. It is wholly unacceptable. If I was a producer, if I was an executive producer or some sort of director on this game, people would be losing their jobs. I'm dead serious about that. I'm also a 23-year-old kid who's never worked in the games industry in a professional capacity. I've only worked in college projects and personal projects and stuff, but, like, still, like dear God, it's so bad. Okay, moving on. Customization. I have no words. I've recorded this video like 4 times, guys, and every time I get to customization, I have an aneurysm and, like, die a little inside, because I get so unfathomably upset about this. If you guys don't know, I'm gonna try to stay calm here. If you guys don't know, right now, if you buy a helmet for a soldier, you got Jim. You buy a helmet for Jim, and then you have another soldier, Bob, in the same squad. You do not share that helmet. You have to buy that helmet individually for each soldier. Those helmets cost like $1.50. All right, they're like 150 in-game gold or somewhere around there. Okay, and then you got coats that are like $3.50 or something. I don't know. The point is that they cost like less than $5, but you have to buy them for each individual soldier, which means if you were to outfit every soldier in the squad with new customization, it would run you like $45, which then 40 times 3 for 3 squads is a free-to-play player, if not more, if you're a premium player. This is running you like $100+ to customize one campaign. Multiply that by 5, and now we've got $500 being spent, and we're not even factoring in vehicles yet, which, by the way, vehicles can have like American pinups on Soviet tanks, which, yeah, looks ridiculous, and personally, I don't really give a shit, but some people are kind of mad about that, and I think they have a pretty fair argument and a fair point there. But my argument against this is, why are we making people pay so much goddamn money? I don't understand why you would do this. No game I've ever played does this like this. War Thunder doesn't even do this. Like, literally, War Thunder, you could literally have taken the system from War Thunder and shoved it into Enlisted and it would have been fine. Why did you change it? I don't understand why they went with this system when War Thunder's system is literally permanent unlocks for decals and shit. Like, I don't know. I don't know who the hell sat down at a meeting and thought this was okay, but, like, what the fuck are you doing? Like, why did you ever think that that would be an acceptable thing to do and thought that people would pay for that? Because I like, only the utmost whales are paying for this. Like, the cream of the crop whales are paying for this. And I don't even think they are, dude, because it is such an obvious scam that it's ridiculous. Like, you're not getting the money of the people who are actually, like, wanting to do this customization. Like me, like, I was willing to spend money on customization. I would have spent like $10 to deck out my dudes with cool hats. I would have spent more than that, dude. But, like, you're telling me that you want me to spend $500 to outfit, like, all of my squads and all of the campaigns? Like, fuck no, dude. You know what I can do with $500? Like, a lot. Like, I'm not gonna do it to get some virtual pixels in a goddamn game, okay? Like, I could go invest that in stocks or some, like, $500 is such a ridiculous amount of money to think about for this customization, right? Like, and you could just, like, mix everything up And you could have like Germany in Moscow has different customization than Berlin, you know, and it unlocks for like, if you buy a helmet, it unlocks for everyone in that campaign, but not in the whole game. So then like Moscow has different customization than Berlin, and that's fine, right? Because then you can have like $100 worth of it in one campaign, right? But it unlocks for everybody, right? So then you can like focus on one campaign. But if you're like a mega whale and you play all the campaigns, then maybe you will end up spending a bunch of money, because then you're getting nickel and dimed. But like as it states right now, like it costs even more than that to outfit all of these different squads and all of these different, oh my god, man, I can't continue. Like I said, dude, I've tried recording this video so many times and I just get so mad about this customization stuff because it's so bad. It's so bad that it feels like they sat down and they were like, guys, Quadro keeps asking for customization in the game and we don't want to do that. We just want to keep selling premium squads. What do we do? And they were like, what if we make the worst system physically possible, so then everyone just thinks customization is bad? And they're like, yes, do that. Like, it's so bad, it feels like they actually sat down and they were like, what's the worst thing we can do? And then they did that. Like, what the actual fuck? All right, I'm done. My god. Okay. Thanks for watching, guys. Follow me on Twitch, join the community Discord, links down below. Like, comment, subscribe, yada yada yada. Let me know your guys' thoughts on Stalingrad. That's actually important. I do want to talk to you guys about that. So let me know down in the comments below your guys' thoughts on the video and your guys' thoughts on Stalingrad, and I will see you guys next time. Take it easy.